heaven. Franklin County, Blue Ridge Mountains, Little Pig River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. Franklin County, moonshine mama, take me home. Country roads.
Every story has a beginning, and the story of Glade Hill School began with a dream. It was a dream shared by neighbors, parents, and friends who believed in the power of learning close to home. They envisioned a place where children would grow not just in knowledge, but in character, nurtured by a caring community. Glade Hill School quickly became more than just a building. It became the heart of Glade Hill and the surrounding communities. Within its walls and across its playgrounds, values were passed down, friendships were formed, and memories were made. These memories live on in the hearts of all who walked its halls. Schools existed even before Franklin County was formed from Bedford and Pennsylvania counties in 1786. But the official education story began in 1870 with the first superintendent of schools, Thomas Hill Bernard. By 1915, there were over 177 public schools in Franklin County. The majority of these schools were one- or two-room schoolhouses and had one teacher. Classes were large with many grade levels and ages. By 1935, schools were consolidated into 7 school districts: Blackwater, Boone, Blue Ridge, Gills Creek, Rocky Mount, Snow Creek, and Union Hall. There were no fewer than 4 schools in or around Glade Hill that were called Old Glade Hill. By the 1930s, there were at least 5 schools located further out that would become part of Glade Hill School on the present site. Pictures of these schools are difficult to find, but some examples are Mountain Grove in Jacks Mountain, Arrington Timber Ridge, Pinhook, Union Hall. A note, a 1914 contract for Fanny Mackenheimer shows a teacher workday was from 8 until 4. Another school was Old Salem, Old Glade Hill in 1901, but its location is unknown. Old Glade Hill, 1907, across from Glade Hill Baptist Church. In those early years, students rode horses, wagons, or walked to school, regardless of the temperature or weather. Later, other forms of transportation were used. Private contractors provided bus service, and students finally gave 2 of these the names of Tin Lizzie and the Chicken Coop. The Franklin and Pennsylvania Railway gave yet another mode of transportation a little later. Specially outfitted cars were used on the rail to travel from Pinhook to Rocky Mount. An Edwards motor car traveled from Sandy Level to Rocky Mount on the rail. Tracks for the F&P ran in front of the school very near where Route 40 is today. In the early 1920s, funds were allocated to each school district. The Union Hall District was represented by George W. Hutchinson, who was a conservative when it came to spending public funds. When it was proposed to combine all district funds into one county fund, he objected. The Union Hall District was one of 2 who had managed funds well and had a surplus. Mr. Hutchinson met with like-minded individuals, and the decision was made to build one centrally located school in Glade Hill. Willard Hodges was chosen to oversee fundraising. John I. Allman donated land and gave water rights to a spring on the land for use by the school. Glade Hill Elementary became a reality. In the following years, the school has gone full circle from an elementary to an elementary and junior high, then to an elementary through high school, and now, since fall of 1964, an elementary school. Otto Hester oversaw the project and served as principal from 1921 to 1923. He married Nan Law, whose brother Gus would become principal in 1948. There were 5 principals between the years of Mr. Hester and Mr. E.M. Terry, but other than names, no information was located. In the early 1930s, community leaders again recognized the need for a larger school with more academic offerings. East and west wings were added to the existing building. Upon completion, the school became Glade Hill Elementary and Junior High. Mr. E.M. Terry was principal from 1931 to 1935 and oversaw the project. Both Mr. Terry and his wife, the former Lula Bell Berger, were teachers. Mrs. Terry was the sister of Glade Hill legend Miss Mary Berger. Both ladies, by all accounts, were gifted teachers. Glade Hill continued to grow, and in 1934 a contract was awarded to John W. Hunt to build an auditorium with 4 classrooms. The building was completed in time for Principal Terry to award 11 graduates their diplomas from a fully accredited high school on May 31, 1935. What a proud moment this was for the community that had seen their vision become reality. From 1935 to 1948, A.D. Ramsey served as principal. These years brought many firsts and recognitions not only for the school, but also for the community and county. During these years, a vocational agriculture department was created for students and offered evening classes for adults. The first school lunch program in the county began in a 10 by 10 foot building. Meals were prepared and delivered to classrooms by students. There was even a garden. The community supported the program by providing dishes and food supplies. The cost of lunch was 5 cents. A few years later, a 10 by 12 foot addition was added to the building, and 80 students at a time could be served on a rotating basis. The cost was 10 cents. A federal subsidized lunch program was a pet project for Principal Ramsey, and through it he was able to acquire new stoves, equipment, and food products. Pet Dairy provided refrigeration. A cannery was built, and in the year 1951, 3,715 cans of food were preserved for use in the cafeteria. This cannery has been an important part of the community for over 75 years. It continues today as one of only a few such canneries in America. Mrs. Ann Thurman found a small room to convert into a library, and the community furnished books. Miss Mary Berger later kept the library active in addition to her teaching duties. During the 1940s, World War II was in full force and on the minds of all Americans. Glade Hill citizens were no different. The school sold more war bonds than any other school in the county to support the war effort. The school slogan was, "Own a bond for victory." Many opportunities were provided to keep students involved. There were academic clubs like Beta and at least 2 literary societies, special interest clubs like FFA, FHA, 4-H, and Student Cooperative Association. Students interested in music and drama could participate in the Glee Club, a drum and bugle corps, and numerous plays and presentations in the auditorium. There was even a string band called the Woodcutters. This talented group of musicians broadcast live over Danville radio station WBTM. Burks Johnson played banjo and is pictured on the right in the back row. Others are unidentified. And what school could ever be complete without athletics? Glade Hill was no different, and teams existed from the very beginning when land was cleared and an outdoor basketball court was built. There were many successful seasons with county championships won by both girls and boys teams in basketball, baseball, and softball. In the mid to late 50s, the Glade Hill girls softball teams ruled the fields. They won the county championship 4 years in a row from 1956 to 1960 and were undefeated the last 2 of those years. What a great achievement that was. Beginning with the 1948-49 school year, Principal Ramsey became a veteran teacher and oversaw his beloved cafeteria project. Mr. Gus M. Law transferred from Snow Creek and served as principal from fall of 1948 until his retirement in June of 1961. During Mr. Law's tenure, fire destroyed the VOAG building, but the spirit of the community was not crushed. Under the guidance of W.R. Jamison and with community effort, it was rebuilt better than before with more space, upgraded equipment, and tools. At the same time, new toilet facilities were built at a separate location. 1951 brought sadness as the last class graduated from Glade Hill High School. After this, students would attend and graduate from Franklin County High School in Rocky Mount. Time does not stand still. Needs changed, and in 1959, under the watchful eye of Principal Law, a new brick building was built in front of the original frame buildings. The school opened in the fall of 1960 with grades K through 7. That year, the 8th grade class was held in the VOAG classroom. In fall of 1961, 8th grade students returned to the auditorium to be taught in the room where they first started in 1956. Classes for the years 1962-63 and 1963-64 did the same. After this, 8th grade students attended the new Franklin County Junior High School in Rocky Mount. Now, take a stroll down memory lane. Can you recall Dick and Jane? Or hear the bell ring? Or feel the heat from the pot-bellied stove? Can you see boys carrying buckets of coal to keep fires going and buckets of water for washing our hands before lunch? Do you remember the oiled floors? Or the desk with the seats attached to the desktop for the students sitting behind? Can you remember the wonderful meals with real food? Pinto beans, cornbread, slaw, green beans, soup, rice pudding, gingerbread with lemon sauce, even biscuits. So much great food. What was your favorite? Do you remember water dripping into buckets in the cafeteria on rainy days? How about doing our own thing at recess? Do you remember Red Rover, hopscotch, or games like dodgeball, softball, basketball, or jumping rope, sliding on snow and ice until we were caught and made to stop, and the boys chicken fighting or playing marbles? How about that hot sliding board and the thrill of jumping out of the swings? What fun we had. Did you save the little memory books with class pictures and a place for autographs? Can you recall the wonderful plays, musicals, and talent shows held in the auditorium? Or the 25-cent movies Mr. Law showed and the peanuts he sold by the handful? And never forget trips to Lakeside Amusement Park, field trips, and class picnics. Or standing in line for vaccines. Did we even have permission? Yes, these were the good old days. We lived them, we built them. We are part of Glade Hill School's history and achievements. Thank you for being part of that Glade Hill story. But the story, our story, does not end here. You are invited to share your memories to be added to additional volumes which will be updated as our story unfolds. It is hoped a younger voice will one day pick up this where we left off and carry it forward. We would be remiss if we did not give a very special thanks for this presentation to CB and Judy Reynolds, Bunny Fralin and committee for their many years of tireless alumni work, and all who have provided information to be recorded in our history. Also to Tyler Hunt, great-grandson of John W. Hunt, for technical assistance for the video, and Jackson Feldbauer, great-great-grandson of John I. Allman and John W. Hunt, for providing the music, vocals, and this video production. Please note the credits for pictures and research information that follow.
All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye, country roads take me home to the place I belong, Franklin County, Moonshine mama, take me home. Country roads